For I do not. I can give you contact information of Roger. So I can give you. And then also sometimes people like lend out there. Like I have signs for Kendall in my car. I think I'm pretty sure they're open house signs. So like I mean you can always are you connected?
Yeah, on the app.
Yeah, like the groupie messages. Like if you can always like ask like. Yeah. Are you? Yeah, ask her if she has it.
Okay.
Say, help you out with that. But I can also give you Roger's information. Yeah. Susan's running a little bit behind. She'll be here. I'm not teaching it. But she's on her way. She's at the exit. She needs to exit.
Good morning. Okay. Brandon. Sir, Brandon. Brandon. Okay, so you know, like I don't.
Oh, they.
Isn't there a free example? Okay, well, when I send it to you, just let me know. I mean, if you like it.
Oh, it's all, I think it's supposed to.
Is it? I thought it was.
That's Susan.
Good morning.
I heard your little heels clicky clacky.
Oh, you remember the
I was like, it's either Susan or Kristen.
one of the two of us, yes.
Always.
Hey guys, sorry about that. Real estate is never 100% predictable, right?
So if you want to
Oh,
use
you're
the
God,
clicker.
thank you. Oh my gosh, I love that. Super. Love it. So what's going on in your world, guys? Real estate. Anything happen this week? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, what happened?
I scheduled a new house and
Bravo, I love that.
got my buyer hooked up with my lender. So they're talking. I have a friend that is looking for commercial, so I just find out.
Oh, nice.
Friend.
Perfect, I love it. That's fantastic. Anybody else?
Got 6 months of payrolls for.
Oh, the gal that was here
Yeah,
last
yeah,
week.
yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah,
Wasn't she?
that means great, and it's also. It's the one.
I don't know.
But well, from our neighborhoods, we should those two,
Perfect. I think, it's the consistency, Alex, you get that. But for everyone else, it's a consistency of being kind of people all the time. And, how many times, once a month, is that what you're doing?
yeah, we're starting this month, and we're trying, we're still working it out today. What we're trying to do is Friday will be December, Alex does, I wanna do like the doc trial in December. This will be our thing, so trying to do like events with the vehicles, like.
I love that.
Yeah, so people are active. That's the next week.
Exciting. That's exciting. So how's it been here? What did you learn so far? Anything that's like, light bulbs went off and I'm feeling like, whoa, this is amazing. Now, is there any one particular thing that stands out to you?
Yesterday, Brandon,
Brandon.
we kind of went over like,
Value.
yes, thank you. We went over that yesterday, just like how to, just like sell yourself, like when you're, like how to talk to them, how to say, like, how to interview, like telling them basically all the benefits.
I think that's fantastic. We have to bring it to the table. And it's always, it's not, being a new agent, it's not always even about real estate. At all, because success begets success, and it begins successfully before you even begin. I had a gal that I was coaching in Los Angeles, and she's really struggling, and she had a story. Everybody needs their story, right? And whatever that is. And so I sat down with her one day and I said, I just told her everything about you. She's Russian, and a delight. Russian too, I guess it's stereotype, but we sat down and talked for probably an hour, and come to find out, she had run the largest, most profitable Sephora in the entire country, which was in Santa Monica. And I said, nobody even knows that. If you start telling your people that you're talking to, yeah, I have a great track history. It might not be real estate yet, but this is what I've done. I create success for myself and for other people, and it turned the business around. When you start telling that story, it's really huge. Because we can be successful. Usually, if we're successful in one thing, we're going to be successful in another, right? So it's all good. Any questions for me before we get started? Hi, my friends. All right, let's get some energy in this room. Yay! Yay! Okay, so I love energy. So if you have questions, ask them. If you have comments, jump in, give me your comments, because lead generation is the most vital, critical element that you will have to your business. If you're not lead generating, you're not gonna have any business, period. So, I can't push enough how important it is for us to have our lead gen going on. This is even me, consistently. Yesterday, I was in LA, I came back, and, just kind of laid back, so I wasn't really sure exactly what direction I wanted to go, but I called an old client yesterday. Who owns one, he's not the owner, but runs one of the biggest development companies in Cincinnati. And we have an appointment set up in 3 weeks to talk about this community development. So, but it's because I made the call. You know, how long have I sat there and thought, oh, I should call them and see how they're doing, just to touch base. But all the stars aligned yesterday, I made the call. We're gonna meet, so I think it's gonna be a really, really profitable meeting, and I'm very excited about it. And it never stops. Let me turn this thing down. I'm so sorry. Wakes you up, right?
Yeah.
We need to all get up and start dancing, I guess. I don't know.
Is that a cat person that just called you, or is that your ringtone all the time?
Oh, the only special ringtone I have is for my son and my boyfriend. So my son is like, oh God, what's now? And my boyfriend's, oh good, we're gonna go to dinner. So it's kind of get an indication of what's gonna happen next. So that's all exciting stuff. So we'll talk about lead gen. We're gonna kind of skip around a little bit. But when we talk, oh, hello. There we are. When we talk about lead gen, what is like the first thing that pops in your mind? I'm just curious. Anyway, I'm gonna ask each of you individually if somebody doesn't just pop up this time. What pops in your mind? Absolutely. Anything else? Always connected, right? Is it scary? Not scary? Right. Yeah. It's all good. Oh, by the way. So, Alex, I need that. Tell them that you are not allowed to use
Yeah, I
anyone
was
else.
like, it won't be Costco, and I asked Costco, I'm about saying something else, this is Alex's place. So, yeah.
I love that. Maybe you should get a t-shirt, Alex's place.
Yeah.
I love that. That's
I mean, it's just like
fantastic.
relationships and building it up.
I mean, and really that's what it's all about. You know, it's building them, staying in touch with them and keeping this going. So that is really cool. So we know about telemarketing. I'm not going to belabor that. Just do not call anyone who is on the do not call list. Otherwise, you could get fined. And this is the lead generation section 5, generate your leads, which actually is really exciting. And you know, in the beginning, whenever you're starting to figure out how am I going to do this? What am I going to say? Am I going to call? Who am I going to call? Is it going to be on social media? I think there's a jillion questions that come up whenever you're thinking about your lead gen, and everyone's different. The thing I would say that everyone's afraid of it. Almost everyone's afraid of it. Do you feel any fear with lead generation? Okay. Yeah. What about anyone else? No? At the beginning, yeah. What about you? That I didn't. Yeah, it is for sure. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, William. So
It is. It always is. And doing it every single day on a daily basis is critical to your business. But the more you get into the flow of doing it day after day after day after day, um, you're going to wake up one morning, and if you don't do it, you know how you're going to feel? If you don't do it, empty, you're going to feel guilty. You're going to feel like you had that Jewish mom, like I am with my kids. What do you mean you didn't do that? It's kind of like that. So the day that you start feeling that pit in the stomach because you think, oh, I should have done my lead gen and you didn't, you're there. And that's exciting to me when that happens.
Sometimes that generating a lead is really just calling a friend and telling them what you're up to. That's
Absolutely.
really doesn't get a new person. With-
Most of your leads will be connecting with people you know and not necessarily somebody brand new. And that's true because they already know you, they love you, they want to see you be successful. Um, they want to connect with you. So whenever you're talking to them, I think those are your best lead gen opportunities. It may not be them. It may be their aunt or their uncle or somebody in their neighborhood, but the thing is staying in touch with those people and keeping top of mind that that's what you do. You're a real estate agent and I'm here to help. So I agree with you completely. Completely. Thank you for that. So today we are going to talk about lead generating. We're going to talk about, this is not exactly matching up again, but that's all right. We'll get through it. You being the lead generator, review of the 6 core competencies, lead generation fears and myths, sphere of income, sphere of influence, income opportunity, the lead generation model, which is prospecting versus marketing. We're going to get into all this. Relationship management, which can be really difficult, especially I sold over 1,500 homes. So I'm not staying in touch with all those people because of the way my system was set up from the get-go, which was my shoebox. And then when I go from a shoebox to getting everybody into some sort of a semblance where they really get touched, it just has never transpired 100%. But it's all good. Then the types of communication, because everyone communicates differently. So whenever you're talking to any kind of a lead, my recommendation is always ask them, what's the best way for me to communicate with you? Because a lot of people are going to say text. I would say most people are going to say text because it's so easy, right? It's on our phone, we look at it, we make a response, it's good. Not so much email anymore, but definitely ask them it's about them and how they want to be communicated with. And you just have to keep in mind that the customer is still the customer and we're still delivering to them. I love him. He loves me, but he's one of the most difficult guys I've ever worked with. And so I have a tendency to check him off. I don't know if it's because he drinks on Friday night. Is this being recorded?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But he'll call me on Friday night and get angry about something. And he said one night to me, Susan, I'm still your customer. And I said, I get that. Trust me, I get that. You tell me that like all the time. But he goes, but that means I'm right. I said, well, that means you think you're right. You may or may not be right. But the whole thing was I got off that phone call with him that night. It was a Friday night. And I went to bed and I laid awake for a couple of hours, exactly thinking about what he said to me, how he said it. And he's right. He's the customer. I mean, when he calls me and he needs me, I'm going to do my best to be there, not carte blanche. That's not what I do. But to make sure that I'm really listening to him. Because I think a lot of times we have these clients that come into our world that we think, where in the world did that even come from? Do I even really have to spend my time thinking about it? You ever had that happen? No? Mary? No? You just haven't had enough people in your in your client base yet because it will happen. And especially when they're really challenging. And the higher level echelon they are in what they've done in the past, hugely successful, they're going to demand way, way, way more. And you better be ready to deliver. So one of the first things is, well, okay, so how do you want me to communicate with you? And that's where we go down that road with them. So then we're going to be talking about expanding our sphere of influence, best practices for time blocking for lead gen. Who right now is time blocking for their lead gen? Alex? A so-so is not good enough. So it has to be part of your daily life, just like brushing your teeth. And until it becomes that, you're probably not going to have the success that you could have. Can you be successful? Yeah. Can you make a lot of money? Absolutely. But how much more could you do in a shorter period of time if you just plan it and schedule it? And Tara's the best at that. So anytime she gives you any kind of scheduling class, take it. She's awesome. She is just absolutely amazing. So you do want to hear everything she has to say about that. The best time is when you'll do it. Set the time aside, do your time blocking. We know that the lead generation model for Keller Williams for 100 years, so however long we've been in business, is 3 hours of lead gen. You're hearing probably 2 hours right now, or talking to 10 people. But the people that I know that are hugely successful in this business, they do 3 hours a day, period. That's it. And can I tell you kind of how that goes? So when I was in the Beverly Hills office, and I actually had like 3 different coaching groups in different offices in LA. The interesting thing though, and Richard Schulman, you can look him up. He's one of our people there. I would walk in well, just like now, 5 minutes late, whatever, or early. His group is already there at 9 o'clock on the phones, and they go from 9 until 12. That's what they do every single day. Is he one of the top realtors in LA? Yeah, he is. And it's because they are consistent. They know what they're going to say when they get on the phone. They know who they're going to call, and they have their group. And I mean, he's got a pretty substantial group. Maybe usually 10 to 15 people show up for lead gen, and it works. It works. So, whatever works for you, Mary. I mean, I'm not a great morning person, obviously. I'm 5 minutes late this morning. It's not my thing. I'm much better with it. But it's when it's going to work for you. Yeah. The reason she does that, why do you think she does that? It does, and the thing is, having been in this, well, since I was 2, it's not, but in this business for all these years and watching and helping grow so many successful agents, not just here, but throughout the country. The ones that are getting up early in the morning and doing that thing, whatever that thing is that they do, which is part of their business plan, they're just they're coming out of the gate faster, they're doing it sooner, especially if you're working, say, expired. So we know the biggest day in expireds is when? When do most expireds show up in MLS? The day. The day of the month. When does that happen? Yeah, they expire on the 31st or 30th, and then the next morning you wake up and you have this whole group of people saying, I don't like my real estate agent anymore, but I'm looking for somebody because I really still do need to sell my house. Now, when's the best time to call them? 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, because their phone's going to start ringing. And whoever gets to them first with a message that captures them is who's going to get that opportunity. There was a gal in Kentucky, and I keep referencing because that's been the bulk of my real estate career, although I've, worked LA, worked Connecticut, I've been all over the place. But watching really hugely successful people there, and this gal's name, Barb Holman, I'll tell you her name. 7:30 every morning, she was on expireds. Except on Thursday, she went to the casino and gambled. True. It was her day. But she worked herself to death every other day. And at 7:30 every morning, and she was the first one on that phone. And do you think she listed those people? Yeah, she did. She had the biggest listing inventory at the time in Kentucky. So it worked. Not just that. I mean, she also had a sphere of influence. She had repeat clients, and you'll reach that point. But in the very beginning, how and where do you find those people? So I would say anytime that works for you. But let me add to that. When you're doing your lead generation, okay, let's say that it's when do you like to do it? Okay, so that's not very definitive. Gonna whack down on you guys today. Let's pick a time, 9, 9:30, or 10. What's better for you? 10 o'clock. So you're gonna start your lead gen at 10 every morning, not at 9:30, not at 10:30. You're gonna start every morning at 10. Why? Consistency. So if you know that every morning you have to be at Macy's to sell shoes at 10, you're gonna be there, right? If that's your job and they're paying. This is not any different. You're going to get on your phones at 10 o'clock. And how long are you going to call? 3 hours. Is that your commitment really? Or are you just saying that because that is your commitment? Okay. When you're doing that and you're making those calls and insulate yourself from everyone else. Okay. Find a place where you can get away from everyone else, because I'm going to make a call and go, oh my God, Mary, I'm so excited. I just had this call. I do it. If it's a great call, I'm going to be excited. I want to tell you about it. You don't need to hear about it. I can tell you at 1. I'm told 1. I can tell you at 1. You don't need to hear it at 10. So, it's your job. I mean, and you should put on your computer wherever you're working, do not disturb me. I'm on lead gen. Do it, because it will keep you directed and you know what you have to do during that period of time. The other thing is you don't take breaks. I mean, you can go to the bathroom, whatever, but plan those. And whenever you're doing your lead gen, before you sit down to do that, you should know exactly what you're going to do that day. Who are we calling? How many people am I going to be able to get a hold of?
Is that a part of your day? Yeah, your schedule, part of that schedule, next day, job. And so it's not like you sit there and think about it, you already did it day prior.
Yeah, how much time do we waste when we come in and we sit down?
That's like big one. It's like I sit down and I'll write out some names, but also like. So I'm trying to find people to call.
Yeah,
It's like,
and
why not?
we need. One second.
I'm so sorry. For me,
Oh yeah, I know like the last name, probably, but it's also on my list, but.
like when we set it up, when we set it up, she had me like say how many people you want to call a day, because then man tasks.
Yeah, I have mine.
That's okay.
I like-
Like
I
if
need
you
to
wanted
get
to
around.
have somebody do it for you.
I'm loading it slowly
And you were doing great. I mean, I'm not seeing you what you're doing now. Remember, there's 2 things. One is lead generation. That is not follow-up. Those are 2 separate things. When you're lead generating, we're looking for people we really have not talked to for a while or have ever talked to that might be in the business of looking to sell real estate, buy or sell or invest. That's our job when we're doing lead gen. Follow-up, different. That's different. That shouldn't even be lumped into that. Now you can take part of that time, that 1 hour maybe for follow-up, 2 hours for lead gen, 1 hour for follow-up, because where's the fortune? The fortune's in the follow-up. So you have to do it, but they shouldn't be together. They should be separated, because it's a mindset. I'm lead genning. I'm hunting for appointments. I'm going to call. I'm going to call. I'm going to call. My goal today is 3 appointments. I'm not going to stop till I get it. Or talk to like 10 people, and then my follow-up comes in. And that's where the fortune is. But a lot of times you're going to do your follow-up, nobody's going to talk to you. They're not going to answer. And that's okay. You just leave a message and move on. So they do need to be separated. So the way you plan your day can be really critical to your success. And it's not a big thing. It's like, okay, I'm going to do lead gen. I'm going to do 9 to 11. I'm going to do follow-up 11 to 12, whatever. whatever your hours are, and then you go with that. And I promise you guys, I work with some of the most successful teams in the country. I'm telling you exactly what they do every single day. And guess what? If you're on that team and you don't do it, guess where you are? Out the door. It's required. Because they're not out there to play games. They're out there to make money and to take care of people. So it's all really, really, really important. I'm kind of skipping all over this, you all. I'm sorry. Is there anything in your book that I should touch on that I haven't touched on yet, where we are so far? Okay, so Gary Keller says, my fear of failure was greater than my fear of lead generating. My fear of failure was greater than my lead generating. But that's not true for everyone. Some people will have a greater fear of lead generating and they will failure. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to fail out of business if they don't do this. So we really do need to keep that in mind as we do it on a day-to-day basis. Now, these are the 6 core competencies of a business. Number 1 is lead gen, capture, and convert to appointments. So you can lead gen all day long, every day. And if you're not converting to appointments, you need more work on getting from A to B. Because that conversion is hard. It's not easy. And well, it is easy. Simple, not easy. So the thing is that whenever you get on that phone and you're talking to people about an actual opportunity to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, ask to meet with them. Do not get off that phone until you ask to meet with them. And you don't ask once. How many times do you ask? 3 times. So, hey, Alex, I've really enjoyed our conversation, and I know that you might be interested next year in thinking about buying a house. But you know what? I'd just love to get together with you, have coffee, just talk about it. So could we get together maybe Friday or Saturday? No, thanks. That's very polite. So why not?
I have a busy week this week, I'm pretty booked up.
Oh man, so do I. I totally get it. But it's really important for me to be able to get together with you and just talk to you. And I'm not going to sell you anything. We're just going to get together and reconnect. So if this week doesn't work, maybe next week, maybe Tuesday or Thursday. Always options.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
You think Thursday will work? What time on Thursday? Mornings, afternoons, which is better for you? Afternoons, okay. 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, what's best? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and write you in onto my book for 3 o'clock next week. And I'll plan on meeting you. Let's go to Starbucks down the street in Kenwood. Is that all right? I'll just meet you there. I'll buy you a cup of coffee and we can just spend, that's all right. We can just spend some time talking and I look forward to meeting you. But I'm not gonna take no for an answer. I've had people hang up on me. I've done so many times, but they'll usually call back. But the point is that you ask them once, they're going to pick it up, typically, right? Unless they're really, really ready to go. But the thing is, you're creating future business. And by doing that, it's just having coffee, talking to them. Where do you see yourself next year at this time? Have you thought about going ahead and making a move at that time? So do keep that in mind whenever you're talking to them. Any ideas on that? How hard is it to close 3 times? Yeah, I mean, I think it's critical that you know that you need to close 3 times whenever you're talking to anybody about anything when they say no to you. Okay. So they're saying no to you either because they don't understand, they're just truly, truly not ready for what you're bringing them, or you're not doing your job. I would say 1 of 3. But the thing with closing 3 times, at least you gave it your best shot, and they know how important that they are to you to be able to, that you're not going to give up. Okay. And if you're on an appointment and you are doing a listing appointment, which is my favorite thing in the world, and they say no to me, I'm like, I just go off on another tangent and talk to them about, oh, Alex, yeah, you just bought a house, right? Yeah. How's it going? You loving it? And then I come back for whatever it was we're talking about. So talk about anything else and then bring them back. And also keep high in your thought process what that emotional piece is to them, because bring that back too. Just recommendations. So number two, present to buyers and sellers and get an agreement. So whenever it used to be, we really concentrated on talking to the sellers. Buyers are so important right now to explain to them exactly how the system works now that it didn't before, because you're going to be meeting people that did things 2 years ago. It's completely different. So do you have a buyer presentation? Okay. Um, know that backwards and forwards. And when you're doing a buyer and seller presentation, the goal of that presentation is to what?
Mine's like, what's the columns?
It's really important to educate. Is that your goal of the, yeah, you've got to get that signature. You may only have one time to get a signature. I think that's one reason I was always so successful in real estate. It was like, I'm spending an hour with you and you're going to sign. And that's not what I'm going to say to them. It's going to be nice and soft and kind and sweet, but they're going to sign unless it just goes completely off the deep end awry. But yeah, I mean, it's important that if you're going through all these things to meet with them, then I feel like I've given you something valuable. Now you owe me. Now it's time for you to make a commitment to me. And if they say no, then we have to dig deeper and try to figure that out.
You have a buyer who's also a seller. You get the buyer agreement and this listing.
It just depends. So if you're going in to give, a lot of times they come to you as buyers, right? First, before you realize they actually are a seller. So you're probably at that initial conversation going to go ahead and get that buyer agreement signed. And somewhere during that process, as you become more experienced with this, you're going to have your list of qualifying questions. Do you have a house to sell? Excuse me. Do you have to sell to buy? Those are all questions that you should probably ask before you ever sit down with them at the table, so that when you walk in there, you know that they do have to buy and sell. Yeah, I mean, do both at the same time. That's fantastic. I would like to get the house listed first at the same time, at the same appointment, and get the buyer agreement signed too. That's my choice. Does it always happen that way? No. Why? Because it's not in their mindset. They really haven't thought that far through it. So sometimes you just have to be ready to explain it, walk them through it, tell them exactly how that's going to work, because it's hard to buy a house if you need to sell one, right? Really hard, sometimes impossible. So discussion, guys, come on. I'm not here to give you dissertations. Give me your thoughts as we go through this today.
At least like five. Because or you usually.
And they're surprised, aren't they? Yeah, they're so surprised because we're in that fast-paced society where what we have 11 seconds or something, or 3 seconds, because we live Instagram, we live Facebook, and it's just zip, 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 zip. And when you say, "Oh, Alex, I was thinking about you, and just wondering, you'd mentioned your grandkids. How's that going?" Or writing their names down so you can regurgitate those to them whenever you're speaking to them.
Yeah, and then that specific one, even went to the hospital that same time.
I love that. That's fantastic. Yeah, that is so cool. Yeah, I love that. That's great. That's how you create fans, raving fans who keep coming back to you as well. What? Really? So what are you gonna go see in 2 weeks? I'm curious. I love how fun stuff. That sounds amazing. Yeah. So show buyers and market sellers. So show buyers and market sellers. What do you think that means? Yeah, so can we dig a little bit deeper on that, kind of what that might look like? When we're showing buyers and as our market transitions, I really don't want anybody going out just randomly showing property. So the places you start with every buyer you work with is here in the office. Why here? Well, why here? Why should you meet them here first?
It's nice, it's free, it's easy, they see the community, all people working. It's a unique conference.
It is, and it's a real company. We have, right? I mean, we're not Podunk Realty that I've got to go meet you at your kitchen table or at Starbucks. I mean, we meet people Starbucks just for fun, but I want you to see our environment. And when they walk into our environment, it changes everything for them because they see that we are professional. We are hugely successful, obviously, when you walk into the building, and those are the people they want to work with. They really do. So I think that that's really important. So when you're showing buyers and you're having that consult, you really need to explain to them that there is no such thing as a perfect house. I can show you houses for the next 6 years. You ain't gonna find a perfect house. It's gonna miss something. It's gonna have a bathroom you hate. It's gonna need repairs. It may be new construction. Guess what? By the time you get it done, you're not gonna be happy there anyway, because there's gonna be things that go wrong during the construction process. So you want to prepare them for those pitfalls and get them signed up as quickly as possible. As long as they know that you know what's to come because you are the expert and you prepare them for that, you're going to be a whole lot better off. Does that make sense? Have you had any deals go awry because maybe you didn't explain it well enough at the get-go? Not yet for you. But what about us that have been in the business? We all have, William, we all have. And it's because, oh my God, why didn't I tell them that? You know, one of the guys that used to work for me when I had my brokerage over in Kentucky, he goes, "Oh, Susan, I'm going out to," so cute. I love this. I'm going out to list my best friend's house tonight. I'll call it. Great. Are you ready? Friends and family. So I said, "That's great, Jim." And so, what are you going to do when you get there? He goes, "Oh, we're going to have a couple beers. We're going to talk about listing his house." So all of a sudden, he went from professional to being the friend. So whenever you are working with your friends and your family, you've got to have some sort of a persona that's different. So that was bad enough. So then he gets there and he gives them the presentation, but guess what he doesn't talk to them about? Multiple listing service. It's not part of his presentation. We all take it for granted. We all think everybody in the world knows about MLS. Well, now we're competing with other companies like, is it Home Shake? Is that their name? Home Stretch? Home somebody. They're attorneys who kind of quasi list houses. They do not, and they say to you, we will put you on the MLS, but it's not the MLS we have. They put it on the statewide MLS, which nobody looks at. Nobody. So, but he didn't mention MLS. And so the next day he calls back, he goes, hey, dude, my friend, whatever, I'm going to be sending paperwork over because I changed my mind. Why? He said, you don't use MLS because I signed with somebody else. Because I do use MLS because you didn't mention it. And the other agent that came in drove it home. Not only do we use MLS, this is how we use it. We do the best pictures, the pictures bring the people in. We do the best comments, the comments bring the people in. Yada, yada, yada. And he didn't even mention it. Best friend. I don't know if they still are, but don't know, right? What happens with that? That was on him. That was on him. Next thing we do is write and negotiate contracts. Please go to negotiation classes and contract classes. It can be your biggest nightmare if you don't know what happens in particular instances in those contracts, because that will take you down a rabbit hole and you're not going to come back out feeling very good about it. Coordinating the closing of the sale. That's pretty simple. That's just doing your end. It can be simple, it can be a nightmare as well. To get that through to the closing and manage the money. Love that. Manage the money. So whenever we talk about lead generation fears and myths, do we have them? I do. I still do. I've been making calls, cold calls. When I got into the business, I if you've been with me, you know this because I tell everybody about it. I had no money. I had a 2-year-old. It was hard to even go buy fruit at the grocery store because I was broke. And so, but I needed $1,000 to take a class. It's like, all right, well, I'm going to break this. I don't even remember how I did it, but I came up with $1,000 and I went to something they called Sweat Hogs. And it was. And they busted you all day, every day for 9 weeks. It was the best training I ever had. I don't even know that if I would be sitting here today had I not done that. But what we did is we would start calling at 9 o'clock in the morning and we would call until we set 3 appointments. Period. I don't care if you're sitting there till, well, back then it was like there are not too many rules on calling. But sometimes I called for 12 hours a day. That's all I did. 12 hours. But guess what? Did I set my appointments? Did I get appointments? Did I get listings? Because I was always going after the listing. But the commitment was from them, this is what you're going to do, and you need to go out and you need to get it done. Was I scared? Scared to death every single morning when I had to sit down there and pick that phone and start making those calls. But within an hour or so, I mean, we're talking like a 12-hour day sometimes, that fear kind of goes away. Do you feel any of that at all? You guys are good. That's awesome. I love the fact that you're not feeling the fear of calling. Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you're already going into these calls fearful and somebody hangs up on you, what's that do to your day? Good. I like that. That's fantastic. Uh, you what? And you look still puzzled by that. And how did that, is he still not a nice guy to you, or has he come around? Right? I know they're hard sometimes. Yeah, they are. Was that at this? Oh, yeah. The fear of, yeah, it's the fear of loss that moves us. It's not the opportunity to gain, it's the fear of loss because we don't want to lose anything. I mean, we can think about, oh, what's that going to do for us at the end of the day if we do it, which is not nearly as impactful as losing something. Say what? Can I tell you a story? This happened probably about a year and a half ago, and I was running the productivity coaching program here. And so we were all doing for sale by owner calls. So, uh, again, Kentucky's kind of my thing. I know Kentucky. I love Kentucky. I love Ohio. I don't know it as well. So I like to say where I can go in and say, oh, yeah, I sold that house, that house, that house. It's easier, as you create tenure. So I make this call and the scout picks up the phone. Oh my God. I said, hi, this is Susan Ash. I'm with Keller Williams. And I was calling my number one problem. Turn. I got to get this off. Um, and I said, it's Susan Ash, Keller Williams, and I just wanted to call you about the house that you have back in Carpenter's Trace to see if we could set up a time to talk about listing it for you. And she's like, I hate realtors. I hate them. I don't want to talk to you. Okay. Maybe I don't want to talk to you either, is all I'm thinking. But so, okay, all right. So, and immediately instead of taking that to heart, I asked them, oh, so how long's it been on the market? I already know. Well, it's been on the market too long, but why is that your business? I mean, she was nasty. Well, I just like to keep on market data. That's an area that I work all the time. And, I just really love to just meet with you and just, you don't have to list your house. I'm not even going to ask you. Let's sit together and talk. No, I told you I don't like realtors. This goes on for like 3 or 4 minutes. So finally I said, well, and I understand how you're feeling. Magic words. I understand how you feel. That does not mean I agree with you, but I understand how you feel. So I said, I get it. I understand how you feel. So let me give you my name and my number. And if anything changes, and then maybe I'll call you back next week if that's okay. Don't call me. I said, well, let me give you my name and number. So my name is Susan Ash. It's ASCH. Total silence. 100% silence. Dead. Hello, are you still there? Where are you from? I said, I'm from Portsmouth, Ohio. She goes, is your father a doctor? And I said, my father-in-law is a doctor. She goes, oh my God, he delivered all my babies. So then I spend the next hour hearing how all of her babies were delivered. But the thing is, you don't know what that thing is. I mean, I wasn't using a name. It was just it's my name, and I gave it to her and she was like, wow. And so then we start talking about all the Portsmouth stuff from Portsmouth, Ohio. And she goes, I think we should get together. So we got together, listed the house, and we became really good friends after that. So for over a year, we went to lunch every Friday. Alex, just like your friend here. And she gave me her daughter's listing, and she's got a $2 million house over in Villa Hills. She'll list that. And out of nowhere, a cold call. I had no idea who was calling. She had no idea who was talking to, and it flipped. So you just never know. No,
She
she
likes
doesn't like it. She likes it. But she'll say the same, I just hate those state aid. She's like, so do I. We are on the same page.
They're gonna show me, that's what mom had, they, my cousins, turn out. And they, and eventually it's not me. Well, they love us, they love to be honest. I was like, you know, the Shrouds.
Go with it, right?
I was like, they love us, I don't know what we did, but I don't know what to call them. And so I did like, we requested this, show me. League, and she's like, oh, you know, I can, like, we want to talk to them.
I still love that.
Yeah, so that was, funny, because like, post on my shirt.
Those connections are so important. People are looking for connections, especially in today's world, because think about all the big connections we have. You know, we watch Instagram and get to somebody doing it. We really don't. And to have a real connection like that, it's cheap. So I love the fact that that's the way that happens.
The open house. I got it right. Maybe not. So it was really fun.
You guys know how to work together, right? So Susan, and I work together for a while. So, and so,
That's typical.
it shouldn't be that. I mean, we're so tight. Oh my God. Anyway, I learned more from her about connection. Everyone's her best friend. Oh, Alex, I haven't seen you for so long. So good. I mean, she makes you feel like you're the only person for always. Yeah. So, but the thing I learned from her is the first thing she does when she walks into a room, Elizabeth, or before she goes, she will call people with notes. So let's say I had a list of Mary and here Alice. She calls Alice. Hey, Alice, Susan, I'm gonna go over and meet that girl Mary. She's your friend, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. So, you know, that's kind of how it goes. So, and then when she walks into a room, first thing she does is she produces the room to something that fits. So, if it's, say, a degree from Northern Kentucky University School, she'll, oh my God, I went here too. What year did you graduate? What did you study? Instant come. Right? So, she's the best at it of anything. Why she's also but so I'm so awesome. I love her and
So they like it. It's all good. All good.
but it's a great way. I mean, the first thing I do when I walk into a foyer is in the lead generation process is that the lead generation doesn't stop with just getting leads, carry it all through. It's finding that combo. And if you can, that's really fantastic.
I don't know what to say. How many of you don't know what to say? How many of you struggled with, okay, what do I say now? No, you guys are awesome. Do you? You have like, give me an example, William, if you could. $60 or cents? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so are you staying in touch with them? A monthly Joe? Yeah, I mean, if he says he's not gonna do anything for 6 years, chances are he's gonna do something sooner, obviously. But the thing is, just stay in touch with them because if they see your name coming, even if they don't ever acknowledge you, if you just keep sending them stuff through command, doing your normal touches with them, they're gonna remember you when it's time. They are. And so many times we think, oh my God, I've been doing this with this person for a year. I may not, this gal I'm closing in 2 weeks, I never even spoke to her until a month ago, but she's been on my website for a year. A year. I was getting, and I told you guys this, I think, I was getting ready for work. My phone rings, it's her. I usually don't pick it up when I'm getting ready because then I'm not out the door. Like today, I'm going to be late if I take one extra call. And we had an amazing conversation. And now we're very connected. I still have not met her. I've met her daughter. Um, but a year. And the only reason she ended up calling me is because every week she got something for me. I don't even know what she got because it's on autopilot. So she's getting things so yeah, it happens. It's
It's really important that people always see you. You know, when I was a young makeup artist and 22, just out of college, didn't know any better.
isn't it great not to know better
Dating
though?
on fire is amazing.
I love it. I want to get back to that.
Yeah, I would do, you know, race life, but no, I didn't fear rejection. Put rejection in the world. And I would call these like 50-year-old producers and directors, be like, "Hey, it's so great." And I got booked. I had no clue what I was doing when I first saw on set. But I got booked and booked and booked. And then I did Christmas gift on top 20 clients. And I did something like for the women, they got a makeup brush with my name in front of it. For the guys, I gave a little mini hat.
Can you keep doing that, by the way? I'd love to have that.
Sorry, but those 20 clients were 80% of my business because every day the women just pick and guys would be, I mean, it was 15 years ago. That means that was in my every time I pull it out. And, 15 years ago. So here's something.
It will. And you know, it's just, and it was natural though. It came natural to you.
Well, it was natural because I was so young. I wasn't afraid because I had no idea what I was doing. All these people had literally got a commission book.
I love that.
I didn't know who they were. They had no clue I was. I just asked. I'm a new makeup artist. Ask my stuff. Will you hire?
All the right questions.
Yeah.
May I? Will you?
Yeah.
Perfect.
But,
I
yeah,
love that.
you know, I was much more.
Yeah, I think because we're jaded by that, you know, we've gone through all the no's and all the mean people and all the great people, but our attitudes change. It's all about attitude. If we wake up every morning knowing that today's going to be a great day, and if somebody else is having a bad day, that's not my problem. I'm going to talk to them and move on and wish them the very best for a good day. And maybe the next time I talk to them, they'll be in a better mood. I don't know.
And now 52, I'm like, no, I don't care. You either like me or you don't like me, and either way, it's fine. I love all of you.
And there's something about that, isn't there?
There is something about that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
next. I don't like you either, so there. No, I would never say that. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. So, fears and myths. I think lead generation is really difficult. I don't have time to lead generate. You do not have time to not lead generate. let me tell you that again. You do not have, it's not an option. You cannot not lead generate. You have to do it. I don't know what to say. Best way to get to know what to say is to start going through some scripts that make sense to you and don't change them. Those scripts are written specifically a certain way for a reason. Why? Because they get you to the end to ask the business. You need that. So don't go changing your scripts as you're going through this or cut communications. I'm afraid of making mistakes. How many of you are afraid of making mistakes? Mary? Well, we all are, and the thing is to be really careful with your contracts. There's certain areas in those contracts that can really hurt you and your clients. So those you have to be very, very careful with. But we are going to make mistakes. We are going to be going out and somebody's going to give us an objection and we're going to go, I've never heard that before. I don't even know what to say. So, but be ready with something when you don't know what to say. You know what? Let me get back to you on that. Let me go back to my team, talk to them. I'll get back to you. It's okay not to have every single answer that pops up. Not every realtor should or would have that. So just be ready to go back and get the information that you need. Any other things on this? So don't know what to say. You feel like you know what to say now.
Practice more as we go, all talking to people. Start to become second nature to
It does.
think about it as much. Have a responsibility.
It does. That's all true. Um, and you don't need a bunch of different communications with people. You need to know how to speak to an expired, right? For sale by owner, somebody who's calling or you're calling to list their house, and buyers, and all the others. But you only need one script for every single one of those. So if they're handing you, which we will give you a book of 67 scripts, 160, doesn't matter. All you need are those. You just need a few, maybe four. And that will get you through just pretty much everything. I have a generic script. I've used it since Sweat Hogs. It was a script I used every single day, all day. I can still just say it by heart. And I use it for pretty much everything. I don't really need much else with that. It's going to transition a little bit if it's for sale by owner. It's going to transition a little bit if it's expired. It's one script. Am I going to screw it up? Probably not. I've said it a million times. So, and it works. And I did not change the words. The first time I said, I would never say this. This isn't me. Say it anyway. Make it you. Don't change it. But you have to succumb to what it says and be ready to deliver that. Any thoughts or ideas on this, you all? So what are you hearing right now as far as objections go? Yeah, a lot of people don't like us. So how are you handling that? Let's play. Can we play with it for a minute? You like? So, no, Mary, you know what? I don't like pictures. I'm not going to list. What would you say? Perfect. That's almost perfect. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's great. Um, you know, there's a magic line that you can use. Yeah, it's great, really. Um, and you did a beautiful job with that. A line that I learned very early on that I still use on a day-to-day basis, especially with for sale by owners. If I could, would you? Now, if I could, can relate to pretty much anything because a lot of times they were getting what's his main objection from the FISBO commission. So, well, Mary, let me ask you this. I understand exactly how you feel. I do. I don't want to pay a commission either. But if I could show you that if you listed your house with me for what I charge, which is 6%, and could prove to you on paper that that is going to put more money in your pocket at the end of the day when you get to the closing table, would you at least sit down and talk to me for 15 minutes? Yes. Yeah. And more money in your pocket. I mean, that's really what it boils down to, right? Is how much money you're walking away with, correct? Yeah, let's sit down and talk about that. And most of the times I can make that happen. Now, if I can't, after we discuss this, we'll be friends. Yeah. Yeah. But that line works for just about anything, really. If I could show you, because I'm there to, if they've already got this mindset and that's what they're thinking about, and they don't want to talk to me because they have their mind made up that if they pay 6%, they're going to lose money when they really, really, truly are not. Um, we have to figure out a way to change that mindset. We're not going to do it over the phone. We can't talk them into it over the phone. So, but if I could, would you just sit down with me and let's talk about it? Mm. Right. If you don't like what you see, you know what? And I say this a lot of times too. After we go over everything, I'm going to let you ask me to list your house. I'm not even going to ask you. It's going to be up to you. So, we'll go over everything. I think you're going to be really comfortable with it. And I think that you'll want to go ahead. But if you don't, 100% walk away, be friends. That's all. And maybe you'll refer me to somebody else sometime. That's it. So, am I going to give up there? Probably not. Because what's going to happen with that FISBO? They've met with me or an expired or whoever. It doesn't really matter. As they stay on the market, they're going to keep thinking through our discussion and they'll probably call you back at some point. And if not, you need to call them every week. Hey, I know you're not going to list with me. I know you're not, but I just wanted to check in and to see how you're doing. How's it going? How many showings you get? Oh, yeah, we just had 35 showings down the street. Oh, you had one? Oh, how did that happen? All right, so this next is your sphere of influence, income opportunity. I fail miserably at doing these numbers, so I'm not even going to try. But if somebody in here is really good at it and would like to do the numbers, I'm happy to give you the thing. I don't know who's really good with numbers. Okay, so if you look at the number of contacts in your phone, do you know how to, have you guys gone through this exercise yet? Okay, so if you look at the number of contacts in your phone and you do that, I believe by scrolling up, I've got so many, they're all whacked out. I think I've got about 5,000 in there. But if you scroll all the way down with your number, can you do that? Are we doing it or no? We can try to muster through this together. Do you want to look and tell me how many contacts you have, Alex? 183, okay. Mary? 86, okay. So if you take that number and let's see, potential closing opportunity from contacts is 0.081. So if you take your number of contacts and times that by 0.081, and that's the potential referrals in your databases. Now here's where I get lost. I need help with this. A times 0.10. Okay, there you go. So we got the 25, and then your total potential would be those two added together, which is 45. And this is out of 250 contacts. This is out of only 250 contacts. So they end up with 45 potential leads from this. And your typical commission, which is way higher than that now, ours is about $9,000. But at 5,000, that income opportunity just out of your phone is $225,000. How's it make you feel? No, and it's huge. And whenever you look at it that way, I think it's huge. I do. What do you think about it? I mean, when you know that those are the people in your phone, they know you know them, you can call them. And it may not be them, they just may know 4 or 5 people that are moving or one person who's moving.
Well, it's potential closing opportunity. So it's not your needs are 250 or whatever.
Right.
0.081% is how many statistically
Should
across
come.
nationwide numbers of realtors is what it comes of closings. So if you do your math, it's something it's statistics from the track that it says that they track realtors from that. So I was your mind, but please do not hear a judge. I've been in business a long time. I have 2,100 contacts. So my potential closing opportunity is 174. That's closings, that's not my contacts. And referral is 14. So altogether it's 387. I did average commission of 5,000 just because that.
Right, exactly. Mhm.
And it's $1.9 million, 1.9 something million. So when you do your math, all of a sudden you're like, I'm not afraid to call. And if you really, the average person knows 500 to 1,000. You just don't know that you know that. But that is also statistics.
This is very true.
So that alone, you guys should work your numbers and then put that on Facebook. That should be your focus right there.
Because it's right there, and they're people you already know. I mean, that's the thing. They are people you already know, which is huge. And I love that. So the sphere of influence is your database. It was an abrupt ending, wasn't it? So what are your ahas on what we just talked about? I love numbers. Yeah. It does. And it gives you a plan. I mean, it gives you the way that you need to go forward. So I think that's fantastic. So then they're going to jump in here on your lead capture model. So they're saying you should lead capture, put it in your database. You should be feeding your database on a daily basis. Has that been drilled into your head yet? Because we know that once you hit 211 people in your database, is when the magic happens. That's when you start really starting to see a return on the investment of what you put into your database. So keep that in mind. So you are going to get the lead, put it in your database, and leads and contacts are different. Leads are somebody who says, yeah, I'm going to do something soon or whenever. And contacts are just contacts. They haven't really said, yeah, I'm ready to do something or thinking about it. And then cultivate the contacts for conversion because that will help you, and also harvest those referrals as well.
the graph of the map. Like, this is basically the process of this map.
It is definitely. It is. That's exactly what it's doing. So it's starting here. But we're going to go over to prospecting versus marketing. What's the difference between prospecting and marketing? Yeah, basically that's really what it boils down to. And the differences in this is, first of all, you need both. We used to be in a day and age where I always used to say in my classes, you're either going to spend time or money. But now we need to do both. We need to put together a budget that we are actually going to use to do real marketing. And Command is amazing with that. If you guys are not using Command ads, start doing it. They are not expensive and they will bring you back a wealth of leads that you didn't know. Because you've got your Mets in your phone, but you also need the unmets, the people you haven't met yet. How do we find them? This is one way to do it, is through your marketing. Have you guys run any Command ads? Anybody? You have? How'd they work?
I only did it for months, but the first one I messed up. We had a lead capsule on it. We did that. Signed one up.
Yep.
So 4 weeks. Then 2 past that, one for the process.
Did that work?
I only got, I think, 4 weeks on both of those.
Yeah.
But one, I mean, I didn't like the process to start it. I mean, just making the designs, the website. I didn't like that stuff. I took Kate's class on it. She seemed to like it. Told me like how she wants to do
Yeah,
it.
and she did great with it.
I just didn't like how that process, like that's not.
You mean A to Z, like, okay, I got to go in here, find the list and get it up to,
Just like how to set up the lead, how to set up the, how to set up the. Those things that are like behind the scenes, not so much.
okay, got it.
Behind the scenes stuff I really like, so they're doing the labels, which is what we're doing now. I like that a lot more. It's like show, but Canada versus, command designs.
So which is less money out of your pocket?
Right now, I mean, it's more now because I'm doing the.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best at which 67 homes. It says download available. Plus it's like, I think it's $40 for 2 weeks of. $40 for 2 weeks of.
Of ads on Command. Let me give you a tip, you guys, and I'm going to challenge you to do this, okay? If you are looking to start writing business right away, Command is a great way to help you. But the things that pull are ads for houses that are listed. Okay. If you generically put an ad out, oh, I list houses and blah, 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 call me, you're probably not going to get much from it. If you put up a house that is hot, I mean, and look at our inventory here in the office, compare it to what Zillow's saying. So if you've got a house that's hot on Zillow or Redfin, call that agent and say, hey, Mary, can I just borrow your listing? I just want to do some ads for you. And do the ads because that will bring people in. They will go, we'll capture them. And all of a sudden you may have 50 people to call. I mean, yeah, and that's really cool to do too. Yeah. Yeah, it is smart. I do new construction, so I like to put together new constructions out of my website, put it all together. because it does pull, because people like to buy new. So it does work, but I mean, for $50,
I will say,
it's inexpensive, and for $50, you can start getting leads.
So it's $50.
It's up to you. You can spend whatever you want.
Okay, okay.
You can spend
it
$10,
should be like
500. Yeah.
Based on, if you go with command, Facebook, Facebook, you can get things. I want white mail 42.
Cannot do that through command.
Yeah, when like it says like everything.
Yes.
Ages, kids. schools,
But
like,
not
you
with
can
command.
specify.
Not
But
command.
is not-
It's an area. And
Oh,
it
so
hits,
they live in that area and are on Facebook, yeah.
yeah, but it's an ad, so it doesn't go just to your people.
You pick the, you pick the radius, you pick the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook's more precise. than command.
It is for sure. But I would definitely look into that if you're starting to look to try to figure out where you're going to be getting some incoming. Relationship management, database is a container that holds the information about your leads and your contacts, and a smart database, data bank, allows you to have planned and meaningful communication with your database. And that can, again, can be set up through command. If you have not taken these classes with Peyton, please do. They're worth so much to you. It divides here. Leads are people you have earned the right to at least have a one-way conversation with. And contacts are people you've held a two-way conversation with and whom you've established a value-based relationship. So they're contacts you know that you get to know each other. Leads are coming in this particular aspect, and you're going to start developing a relationship with them. Remember this though, relationships must be attended to, cared for, and cultivated. Remember what I said the other day that most people are not even going to pay attention to who you are until they hear from you for about 12 times. After 12 times, yeah, maybe. And maybe not, maybe never. But you have a better chance by the time you reached out to them about 12 times. It's not my rules or stats, it's just the stats. Types of communication, we talked about that. What is the best way to communicate with your people? I would say every single way. So if I've got people that are not responding to me, our team, what we do is we sit down and we, as soon as the lead comes in, we call them. They don't answer, we call them right back. 10 seconds, call them right back. Bing, bing. 2 calls in a row. Then if they don't answer, we send them a text message. Same day, all within a couple hours. Send them an email. And that's how we start with it. Then it gets easy because once you start talking to them, the face-to-face isn't hard to get that set up usually. You give them a KW app, you give them handwritten communication is everything. If you got somebody who's a hot lead, sit down, you have cards, I get them at the dollar store. They're 10 for $1. You stick your stamp on it. Thank you so much for talking to me. Here's my business card. I'd love to talk to you again soon. Simple, nothing dramatic, not a lot of money. But you know what? How great is it to get a real card? I get so excited. I thought I had a real card yesterday. In my mail, I opened it up and it was somebody wanting to lend me money. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I thought it was a real card, but it wasn't. So, but it's so exciting when you do get those, right? Again, I guess our favorite communication is text message. But like yesterday, I went out on a listing appointment. I said, so do you use DocuSign? We'll be done in like 5 minutes, Alex. So I can send paperwork to you. He said, can you meet with me? Absolutely. Does not want DocuSign. He wants to go over the papers, which is made it almost all the way through, right? This is the client and the referral loop. So your database will generate leads in the form of new, repeat, or referral business. Anytime you're working with any client, you should always ask them for referrals. And that could happen the day you meet with them for the first time, sitting at the dining room table if you're listing their house. It could happen during the process of once they go under contract. Remember, things are gonna go wrong. So you go under contract, things start to go awry, probably within about, I just had one yesterday, deal went down, I think, we'll see today. Um, she's fine, but she might be mad. So now might not be a good time for me to ask for a referral. It's not on me, it's on something else, but ask for that referral and then happy times. Like, okay, we just got that accepted. Aren't you so excited? Oh my gosh, I am too. So do you mind just writing a referral? And they are so thrilled to do it at that point. Whereas yesterday we had a closing that didn't happen because the girl's pregnant. She had to go to the hospital. They stuck her in the hospital. She couldn't go to the closing. She's not in a very good mood right now. Ain't gonna be asking the referrals for a minute. For a minute. So make your timing count for you and for them. So putting it all together, lead generation never ends, ever, 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 ever. When you give up lead generation, even at this stage of my game, I'm going to lose money. I am. Because if I'm not in front of them, reminding them that I'm still here, they're not going to remember. They're going to see my stuff coming through, but it's like, I bump into people at the grocery store. Oh, are you still doing real estate? It's like, I'm going to smack you. How could you not know that I'm not doing real estate? Because I'm not doing my job, right? Letting everybody know. So it never ends. It's best when time blocked and it determines the size of your business. It truly does. This is that same diagram, just carrying it over and going into it a little bit more. So that is it, guys. It is 11:01. Tell me what you're feeling right now. Tell me what you learned today. Tell me what you're going to do. Tell me what you're not going to do. It's okay. I have my list of things I'll never do because I'm bad at it, and I will hire somebody else to do it for me because I don't like doing it.
So, I mean, I was on all morning. I spent 3 hours doing the weekend. But, you know, it does happen. Lots of old rules of that. But we were too much place. So you have to do this. So we wake up this morning, why today or yesterday or the last week didn't what made that or why did we slip? Got out. That's all right. I'll do it like that. I love that. I love the fact that that means that you have internal. I mean, it means a lot.
I usually just go on and step down. I'll say, the condo currently still by. So any sort of do level and go over it. So, um, the switch into. Stuff like that.
Remember where are you going? You're only you don't have time to do this.
Yeah.
So what's so that we have in like early careers plan. The big protocol says that on the 15th of the month, you have not put your folder for that month.
let me tell you what. The only thing we do is make calls. That's it. Everything else we just pay. So we that's and we're not really numbers like we're getting half of number one because our and that's when we stop everything else in one person. Once you get that. Okay. Your system purely based on. Right now, you're trying to move forward again. Right now, you don't. Anybody else? Questions?
Where you guys going?
I went up there. Let me do this. Whenever you are a lead generator, and let's say I call you a lead. Yeah.
No.
Lead gen. Once you take that call, you throw it to the side. So calls are coming in, you're going to just let it go right away. Whatever time you do. And even, well, I a lot of times. Calls roll come. But that auto dialer, might have a recording on there that says I have called. So you do not take those calls and come back. Please down calls. Because I tell everybody about it, call me back, and then I'm gonna do this, that, and. I sit there with people making the calls. I have. Don't be calling back. Please call back. I have. Message and during the weekend, call back. Nobody ever calls me. Yeah, okay. You're here. So, one call. So, really not that. So, and I execute the second floor as we are excited. Oh, I love that. Green, whatever, and then it kind of like, so it's the minute it does. The work with people that or anybody else. They're gonna. Billions of dollars. And they all have money. And they're beautiful. And I still keep it, that photo. But they work really well. I'm a football. I love it. You get me started on football, I would stay on that train. That's like one more. But a little, cheap, the cool, clean, all that jazz. Hard now, but the dialogue, what it does is then so, it's very static, doesn't let you hang up to your calls. So, just hold it, say no, agents, and how they're not. So, you hang up, right? Go start all over again. So it works in that way. I have a read on the call. And whoever picks up, I'm gonna. That yeah, it's all you. Answered, police sad, so you've got all that.
Chief, chief, as you people said, I've done, I don't want to. That's, well, like, profile and Friday, Sunday. So it's just maybe, so I didn't feel anything else. I mean, it's very, it's just like, I feel like, one, I track hours, I track budget, I track multiple things in my life. I'll go in there, I'll talk my photos on my laptop, come in, and we'll do it. And it's extra account. We've got a little bit next to that, next to. Well, that. For me, that's been nice, because like. It's soccer, Lexington, I'm not texting all the time, so I'm just like, hey, it's overnight, senior night. So then, like. Like, it
Yeah,
makes me,
it really helps. It's like, wow, everything went great.
yeah,
And it shouldn't, I
so
mean,
like, that's the mind.
so much power like that, never ever.
I faced it, you know.
So, William, you are gonna update or restructure. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, if they're not mean to me, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, and so I said, I uploaded all files. For master.
All of them.
So it says passing them out. So that's a big, now I,
That's the best ever been, whether you do it for Gemini.
yeah, so my Gemini there,
I'm gonna go.
I like that.
So what I. Saying that we just, yeah. Yeah, it's like the rules down, okay? When you sit down there, these are my rules. I'm not gonna take any calls. I'm gonna call out. I'm going to talk to like, or quit. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, it's. We get a little state that has flexible hours. And flexible is only like 8 hours a week. Your time, of course. But you do have to make a commitment.
Currently. And then planning my routes.
And that would be so far. Yeah, that would be. Things I'm not good at. That's what.
I work and then I learn business and that. All else system. No right to wrong. Oh, that is system. They have that. They saw. Right.
I get this text. How do I see how many of us I have that message? That's because I there's a radical
Sleep. Like, so last night I was. She was like, I was like, call this.
But I love that.
She's like the best person ever, so I'm
Knowledge is power. And it's so true. And if you know time where you like want that farm, you everything in that farmhouse, you should go every single house that comes up. All I'm not saying, we do it. Don't know what any of it. And when you do that, so when you put your farm, wherever that might be, start spending time there, get to know the says how many people go around. That's how I moved out. I didn't know that. Somebody else said that this year. We got to take this outside. I love she would say, no, let me out of here. The window's locked.
People ask me, that's personally, that's my thing. That's what I think. Since, again, supposed to try. Yeah.
You're going in. There's some that your lack of comfort is doing something inspires a lot.
Like, I've always been with like my people that break it up, how I do that.
No, that's a great.
So like me, I wouldn't do, I wouldn't do all. Well, I would have a beauty, but they don't do, but big, like.
Well, you all, so it's almost a little bit, so.
I love that. Martin's product and class. They can save using the products. Tips on
One of the things we start talking about is our value. Well, we might think about you bring a lot of relationships for a while. So you know your strengths.
was
Oh, we, no, it's still there.
It's somewhere, but I know I'll be.
Yeah, we never.
I'd love that.
Oh, no, I think, oh my God.
That was when Sharon was PL.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, I appreciate you all and, it's a fun open house.
I'm doing an open house on Sunday too.
where?
When, what day?
Sunday.
Sunday,
One to three.
What's going on? What's happening?
So.
Okay. He got sick and I got this, so that he should be in the Saturday. Brandon, what time?
Oh, he's still with us. We're joined at the neck. I can't live without my Danny. He's amazing. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He'd do anything for you. Love him.
So like now I'm like back home with my parents.
Yeah.
So they don't do like all of them are there for 15 years, so they sold their house.
Right.
It's just.
We go to so many open houses.
I mean, that's what I really want to get licensed, like our testing stuff, like I would be.
Don't stop, keep going.
Yeah, we go, I mean, my husband went to one last weekend and I just didn't go, so I was like.
Oh, we went without you, I love that.
We always do, but.
I think I'm gonna do like Lebanon. That's where all my friends. But yeah, starting at Lebanon, like door.
Yeah.
Maybe just go to,
Yeah.
But
maybe the other beaches count, so read this.
are we in trouble?
I was, but you don't.
Oh.
Go see Pinkerton.
Okay, cause there's no like, there's no,
Address.
realtor protocol if you just popped into an open house. Like if somebody's just, realtors go have a open house, if you're a realtor, you can go in and you can tell them, I'm a realtor, I just want to see the house is like.
Yeah, and introduce yourself, because you don't know when you'll do this, you know, what's down the elder.
Yeah. No, no,
And they find something.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Yeah, me too.
I'll just hope to you guys. Well, I'll see you Sunday. I'll see everybody else Sunday.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Hopefully, you know, it's all, run out and it's- I know.
Yeah.
It's just how long it's gonna take.
You're gonna call it. Yeah, around the neighborhood, you're doing your outside.
Yeah, so I will do circle processing. I did a few door knocking. For two reasons. One, I'm a woman, and two, I know I. So, I found door knocking. And actually, he door knocked for like a year ago, I think. And I did open the door, but I was like, I don't know why. I didn't do it. Usually I'm the person back on. No, thanks. Um, Everything works, but it's just figure out what to do first. So sort of prospecting is a little bit more like, I'll drop off. So in the neighborhood around us, I'll drop off a little gift, which is be like, go back, you will. With a card, with maybe this house just had a restaurant, whatever. the list of purchases, and then I'll take like, yeah, I'll- here, and I'll do like neighbors. All in that little drop. You, VIP neighbors.
You're making like a. Are you just putting it?
And I can't touch their locks, so it's better wall. I'll put it in all little baggy, little. I'll drop it for. Travis had like bag, like, you put on a knob and you just put clear. You can do it. I do not, I just have supplies over. So I just, I don't use it out of my ass. But that's what I'll do. And then I'll know who I dropped it off to. There's an address. I will follow up with them with a mailer once that person sells. So I'll know all of that, even if I don't have that person. You can get their name. You know, like I probably would, what I will do is my husband will drive me, will make note of the addresses. You can. That's it. But in that. But he's also so. So that's kind of sort of awesome.
I put it. However, so. Year or two over the stretch.
Right.
That's number.
So what do you mean by that? So, like, let's say, Main Street sold. Sold for whatever. about 25. Who were you on?
Well, I see we're talking about out of the house.
Oh, okay.
It has. I personally, all the difference.
Got it.
They don't call it, but they, but I asked a question. This whole neighborhood over this price. I don't know if you really know. So I think you're putting it out there. Just a call.
Yeah.
It's an easy call, it's out, so it's gonna say it's fine.
Yeah. And so they give you names.
Yeah, sometimes it's not, it's not.
So like,
States that are.
so will it, so your dialer, it will give you the area. What's the information? We'll give it like name, address, phone number. Address you're calling.
Sometimes I don't trust that, so that's my goal, is like, yeah, we're not right now, but maybe. Well, what's the thing up for you, or all I want is this much.
How much is your dialer?
Well, I have, you say go once. So, I have a gap. So, the work is that.
I would only do one anyway.
Yeah. They heard over that, and I see why it started, but. But. Good work. You're doing it.
Yeah.
That you're actually. So.
Right. So you have to do it.
Years cheaper.
That'd be a good way to form your form. Okay, I'm gonna set up. Are you staying around? I'm gonna stay around, but I'm going to break the rest of the night. And then maybe you don't need your, yeah, I would love to see that because, and you might even have like a referral code. For
Yeah.
me, you get 10% off.
Yeah. There's a house, there's a big. Call. Here's about it. Here's about it.
They are. Right. Yeah. Water fountains.
Is the room real? Just right here.
Another question. Six, four, one, two, one, three, one, zero, both zero.
Blowing on. Okay.
Right.
We're trying. Let's do it. Greatest. It's 3 months. I'm loving my it's really kind of simple and helps with our reminders. And what is your biggest secret? I think the basic way. What is what is your biggest takeaway from the first? I think takeaway of social night is that everyone is helpful and office. So all the helpful things that I've just. Awesome. Good night. Oh, I like that. Oh, good night. Hey. Okay. They're seeing my 30 years of being outside. Isn't that good? I don't even. You were in shadow. You're yeah, sit on this. Like, this. So I'm not like. Okay. Hi, what's your name?
then what is really good about it? I got this microphone like months ago and I was like not using it.
Robin and Tim, and then they really liked me, and they told Missy that they did really like me. And so the Missy's like, hey, like they requested that you show them properties. And I was like, done. So this is the first time they requested me to show properties, and the second time they wanted to sign with me. So yeah, I'm at least doing something. Um, so yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's that's what my mom said too, that she was like, well, yeah, these people are only gonna help you grow more. Um, and like continue and I'll stay up to date with them and like I'll be the one that is the face of it for referrals and things. And I've joked around with them enough that I mean all my people I try to get to laugh. And so like I know I could easily just be like, hey, if you don't like any of your neighbors, if you want to slip on my card, I'll sell their house for you. Like, yeah. I'm like, if you don't like any neighbor, get them to sell. But in other news, dude, I need to get out of this week. I I don't know what it is, man, with these people. I'm getting a little bothered again. A new one, but hold on, Jenna's here. I don't want to talk shit about her. It's to Ashley. Ashley's doing. She said, Jenna says, hey, do you need, I'm just hanging out here. Do you need me to leave?
No, I'm just turning off this.
Is it still, oh, why? Is it like recording still?
We're gonna edit it.
Got it.
I saw you in there, I was like.
Ugh.